up, get out right out of your bed, that's your quicksand. Getting rid anxiety and head, you can fix it. Rid of stigmas, all of them you said, we ain't listening. Just remember, try to do your best, you can win this. Maurice Benard, State of Mind.
Okay. This is State of Mind. And I'm really happy today because I got this General Hospital thing right here. I don't know if you've seen it, but it says General Hospital. A show that I've been doing for about 31 years.
Should put one on too.
Yeah. And I just want to say that I love young actors. I've helped quite a bit. And I think I have 10 Emmys to show for that.
Really? Wow.
Well, 3 of my own, and then whoever else won Emmys that I've.
That's incredible.
But I don't want to brag or anything. I'm just kind of sitting here, whatever. And I haven't helped in a while because I just haven't found anyone who I kind of like. And this person I got today, I kind of like.
Oh, thank you.
And I am helping Sawandi, who I like. But all I want to say is this person's been on Alex and Katie,
I have, yeah.
iCarly,
Yeah.
Criminal Minds,
Yes.
Model Peak Kids brand, whatever.
Yeah, that was from when I was a little kid. That was...
That's the best. Wow. And
a while ago.
yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm writing down. Anyway, his name is Finn Carr, but the main thing is he plays Dante Falconeri, the actor the only actor who is shorter than I am on General Hospital. he plays, it's Finn Carr, but his name's Rocco.
Yeah.
Rocco's his character name. Finn Carr is his real name. And how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
It's doing pretty good now you're here,
That's great. I just wanted to say I love your voice at the beginning. That was gorgeous.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, it was
I have I'm a man of many voices. I'm going to tell you right now a few of them. Watch this.
All right, I'm ready.
What do you mean? From New York, from Brooklyn. Bring it over here. Damn. Hi, how are you? My name is Maurice. What's your name?
Man, those sound authentic. Those are
I don't know what they just come out of me. Anyway, listen, I want to know where you grew up. Let's get to the beginning. I need to know all that.
Sure. Well, it's obvious you grew up in Brooklyn with that New York accent.
No, San Francisco.
Really? Same as me.
No.
Yeah. I currently live in the Bay Area, actually. Born and raised in California.
In San Francisco?
Well, I was born in Oakland.
Oakland.
I live somewhere around there. You don't get to know that, but somewhere in the Bay Area. And I
was born on Guerrero Street in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
But you weren't born near Hunters Point.
No, I was. I was not born in San Francisco. I say San Francisco because it's the general.
But Oakland.
General
But
area.
The Oakland. There's a place called Hunters Point. It's very scary. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I try not to venture deep into Oakland.
Yeah.
if I'm able to. But yeah, and then I just come down to LA for whenever I have a show or something that I'm doing. And yeah, we just drive, never fly. But
so let me. Okay, first of all, do you have brothers and sisters?
I do. Yeah, I have an older brother. His name's Elliot, and he's 25. And then I have a younger sister. Her name's Fiona, and she is 11. So nice, good range.
So who annoys you the most, your older brother or your younger sister?
Well, I think I definitely annoy my older brother the most, but I think my younger sister annoys me the most.
Is that the way it works?
Yeah, because my older brother, he was always older and the cool kind of.
You're how old?
So I'm 16. newly
he's
16.
25. That's
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, so he was always the cool older brother, so he never really,
Yeah.
never really bothered me. Apparently, I'm not the cool older brother to my sister though. She doesn't really like me very much. But
Now, what does she say about like you being on TV? She don't think that's cool?
I mean, she doesn't really care too much. No, she doesn't. It's not.
It's
her
not
friends
her-
think it's cool, but
Oh, her
not
friends
her.
do?
No.
Yeah, because like in my family, you know, if I'm on like a superhero movie, then I'm cool.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm on a soap. To them, it's like, he's on a soap opera. I think my son, though, who's 20, he appreciates what I've done, you know, on the soap.
Yeah.
Being Sunny and mental health and this show, and I
Yeah.
think to them, and they go to the movies all the time. I never go.
Yeah. I'm not a big like in theater guy. Ever since COVID, I've only been to the movies a handful of times.
That's it. Yeah.
Not very much.
Now, so how were you in school? What kind of a kid were you? Kind of a popular kid, not popular? You're probably not going to say if you weren't popular, but tough kid, beating up kids.
Never really that. No.
Jock. Isn't it jock?
There's jock. There's the nerds.
Okay.
Those are the only two that I. There's like
The
musical
smart
theater
kid.
kids.
Musical theater
Those
kids.
kind of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never really. I'm an actor, but I've never really been a theater kind
Yeah,
of
me-
person. It's never been something. My mom loves it, but I'm not. Ever
not
really
either.
drawn towards it. I mean, I'll appreciate a good play, but it's never something I'm super drawn towards. But in school, I always was a pretty outgoing person
Oh,
when I
you
was
were?
younger, especially. I guess that's how I did pretty well in acting when I was younger because I had a lot of confidence.
But where did you act when you were younger? You were in theater when you were younger?
No,
Or just outside? Hey, I want to be an
Yeah.
actor.
Well, my brother he did a little bit of acting when he was younger, and so then when I kind of came to be, I also
Oh,
just
he
went into
did
it.
acting?
Yeah, he did a little bit too.
But he kind of didn't.
Well, he kind of went and focused on school and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
which is something I've also considered, but I've been lucky to stay on shows and be able to.
Yeah.
And it's been great. But what was I saying?
How old were you when you started acting?
Oh, yeah. I was 4 when I got my first job.
That's a commercial.
No, actually, it was
No?
my first job. I did a guest star role on Hot in Cleveland. I got to meet Betty White and
You did?
Valerie Bertinelli and a lot of other people. Yeah, for my first job. Of course, I didn't really know who
Yeah.
they were because I was 4, but it was definitely shocking for my mom.
So that's when you started at 4.
Yeah.
And then you, as the years go by, you're still trying, and you have to audition in rooms.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not so much.
Did you get nervous?
No, never when I was a kid. More so now than when I was younger.
That's the way my son, that little guy, he doesn't get nervous.
Yeah, it was great. I wish I had that same.
And now you do,
Well, now I get a little.
but not that
little more
much.
nervous. No, because I've been doing it for so long.
I mean, Finn, you know how nervous I've always been up until like a couple years ago? Dying of nerves.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I was on a show, Alex and Katie, for like 3 years, and I was just main character. Didn't really have to do any auditions. I didn't really have any because I wasn't able to. And then as soon as that show ended, I remember I did one audition for Nickelodeon, and it was an in-person audition, and I wasn't used to going into a room anymore, and so I was so nervous, and I was so thrown off because I'd never felt that before.
How is that feeling that the first time?
It was scary. It was a weird.
Like
Weird
you're
feeling.
now. Are you nervous waiting outside, or that hadn't started yet?
I try and like talk myself into not being nervous.
Right,
before
but
I'm
you're
like, oh, I'm not nervous. And then right before I go in, I feel that.
Right.
Yeah, but for me, it's all about trying to use that to do well.
Of course.
That's all you can do, really.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But yeah, I can definitely still get nervous all the time. Even for shows I'm still on. Like if I have a hard scene for like General Hospital, I'll get some nerves before I go on
Yeah,
set.
I can see that. But now the beauty that you young actors have that I didn't have is you got self-tape.
So many self-tapes.
Oh my goodness.
Only self-tapes now. Honestly.
How freaking easy is that?
Well,
No, come on. Don't tell me it's not easy, Finn.
for me, I love doing this and like talking with people. And you lose that like extra little bit of personality on the self-tape.
Okay, I understand there's a cool energy in the room when you walk in.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather not have that energy and be able to do something 50,000 times to get it perfect.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. That's, you don't need to be 100%
Or
on the lines.
where are you going to park?
Yeah.
Or what building is it?
Also, for me, having to drive to LA for every single in-person was brutal. But being able to just do self-tapes in my room now, it's a very nice luxury that I'm glad kind of stayed, even though not being able to go in the room,
There is no more
downsides,
not
but
self-tape, right?
yeah,
Why would they do it?
I think,
But that's,
yeah, I mean, it's so much more convenient for them, for the actors, for everyone. So
Hey, let me tell you something. This self-tape has killed, not only the going into the rooms, which some people would prefer because it's the energy. But I think those people don't have the nerves that I've had.
yeah,
You have nerves, but nothing like I had. Now, it's also killed the mental health. Now that we're going to talk a little mental health.
sure.
You can't go see anybody. I mean, I have a therapist, but it's all on tape.
Yeah.
Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do it in person? No, it's
Yeah.
just like, that's important, I think, for people who, like me, or a lot of people who have anxiety, depression, bipolar, whatever. It's nice to be in person.
I remember I don't know, a few years ago, I was having a little bit of like seasonal depression. And so
you were?
Yeah, like pretty good for someone my age.
Yeah.
And I remember I asked to see a therapist, and because of like COVID and stuff like that, there was no in person, which I almost didn't want to do it because, and I think I held off for a little bit to try and get an in person, so I wasn't able to get to it because I was just so turned off to the idea of doing it over Zoom. It just felt in my room where like, people can hear stuff like that. It's not a nice environment. I much prefer, having it being in a setting like this where you're able to just have a conversation with someone.
Yeah, I mean, and I will say this though, if you can't see somebody in person, you do Zoom because you got to see somebody.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Something's better than nothing.
Exactly. Let's talk about depression.
Sure.
What did it look like to you?
That's an interesting question. It's hard to kind of think back on that because it was something that I didn't really tell a lot of people about it when it was happening. I kind of just kept it maybe to myself, told like a close friend or something like that. But my parents were like so open if I were to go talk to them, but something just wanted me to not talk to them and just work on it by myself because I don't know, I thought it was silly that I was having.
You need to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. And as soon as I started doing that, things got better. But yeah, I noticed.
Heavy? You're heavy? When you're in it, you feel you want to stay in bed.
Yeah. Stay in bed, not go to school, eat terribly.
It's like that depression. I have a T-shirt that says "Get up, get out," and your bed is your quicksand.
Yeah.
That's
That's very true.
right.
Yeah.
And I would always say, especially with depression, I talk a lot about anxiety and bipolar, manic episodes that I've had.
Sure.
But depression, I don't talk much about. It's almost like the stepchild that doesn't get talked about.
Yeah.
But so it's interesting. It's good to talk about it.
It is.
I went through a depression for about 8 months, where I rolled out of bed. Now I don't know if you felt it this bad, and if you didn't, that's good. And now you can know how much it didn't have it as bad as you thought. You know what I mean? Yeah. So 8 months of rolling out of bed, nothing felt good. Like I take a hot shower, nothing. It felt like I just didn't want to do anything. That's why a lot of people don't shower, because it just feels horrible. And the only time that I would feel good is when I would dream, because in my dreams I could be happy.
Yeah.
And then I'd wake up, and then reality sits in. Is that kind of the way yours was?
Well, I would get terrible sleep.
I know,
like the
man.
sleep quality would just be horrible. And so the only thing that would really help me is exercise. I was a swimmer, and the cold water and like the quiet in the water.
Oh, that's good for you.
So it was such a great resource. And I realized that's kind of what like saved me through the whole thing, because as much as I hated to do it, even though I should have loved to do it, I did love to do it after I loved to do it. But in that moment, exercise, everything just felt not school,
But
homework.
forcing yourself is good.
Forcing myself to do that, I would always feel the best when I was, swimming or at the gym or exercising or something like that. I'm a very active person. Now I love to stay active, and I feel so much worse, like mentally, when I don't. And so it's such a great resource that I've kept with me, and especially then, it was the only thing that I was able to really help me is doing that.
Do you know, Finn, that saved your ass? Yeah. That and the water was cold?
It was cold. It was the winter. It was just.
That's the thing that. Oh, see, I didn't have that.
Temperature is the biggest help for me, especially when I struggled with anxiety too. That's kind of a genetic.
Oh, you have anxiety too?
I would have panic attacks a lot of the time, and I would have to come home from school where your hands get all numb and like tingly and shortness of breath. You think you're having like a heart attack. And your hands are shaking a lot.
And your thoughts bad?
Yeah, I'm dying, stuff like that.
How long did the depression last?
4 or 5 months, I think.
Damn.
6 months maybe. It was it was a good chunk of time of just not feeling good.
That's a, and then you finally got help?
Yeah, I mean, I started going to therapy and stuff like that.
But the water helped you a lot.
The water helped me, and just going outside and getting sun is like was such a big thing. I mean, even now, if I don't exercise and I stay inside, I feel worse. But just for like that prolonged amount of time, that can, trigger you to feel not as good, and then fall into bad habits, and then just it's kind of snowballed.
And you haven't had it since?
No, I've been really trying.
You are
stay
lucky.
Good.
Wow.
I haven't fallen back into that because I just like to keep a good routine and stuff that makes me feel good.
You still swimming?
I do rock climbing now as much, and I think that
helps too.
It also helps.
All that stuff helps.
Yeah, it's just exercise, and that one especially because it's like climbing. It's like puzzles, and I love puzzles.
That's good for you too.
It's like a puzzle that you have to work out,
Yeah.
and you also get to exercise at the same time. So it's a lot of different parts of your brain.
Do you know that my son was in one of those? You rock climb you're in a place though, like a workout place, and they have that thing where you put the harness on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he went up without the harness, and he fell. He broke his back.
That's terrible.
But he's fine. Like 8 months, 6 months later.
Seriously, that's so lucky.
It's weird.
It's crazy.
He has it on video.
No like paralysis or anything?
No, because his girlfriend filmed it.
Oh my gosh.
'Cause she thought she didn't see that the harness wasn't on, and he had forgotten,
Yeah.
and he went up, bam.
That's a big fear of mine whenever I do any
Yeah,
kind
you got to be careful with that.
any type of rope stuff. That's get nervous.
Well, what I love about you right now is that we're talking about this mental health for a young guy, and a lot of people don't talk about mental health.
Yeah, it's a very like kind of taboo thing for for guys to talk about, especially too.
I know.
Yeah.
I
Which
mean,
is weird.
I over talk about it, right?
Which is great, yeah.
But that's just who I've become.
Mm-hmm.
But it's important. I'm not saying a lot of actors who are older don't touch on it or something, but the way you're talking about it is very adult-like, which is cool. But the anxiety for me is the one that I call Freddy Krueger, because I say Freddy, son of a bitch. I like it. I'm not letting you get me this time. And he just it comes everywhere, on a plane, when I go to New York, at home, anywhere he could come. And then I have to, I was talking about this with my therapist. This is having a conversation with the guy who's 16 years old. I was talking about this with my therapist that, the main thing about all this that we're talking about is if we just stay in the moment, we're fine.
Yeah.
If we don't allow this thought to turn into 150,000 thoughts, we're good.
Yeah.
If we can somehow, the thoughts come and then we just kind of distract it or whatever you do to not let it keep rolling.
Yeah. Just spiraling out of control.
Yeah, and that's how but I said to her, but like I've been through a lot with anxiety, and I say to her, sometimes, like one thing just happened where I said to her, I know this was the trigger, but I kept it inside. And then people say, you're all right? Yeah, I'm fine. I wasn't. Yeah. And then it became.
Did you ever get the, back to depression, did you ever say, I'm just tired? Like whenever you were feeling bad and people would ask about it, that was my number one thing.
Well, you have to understand, that's a good question. You have to understand, I had just escaped from a mental institution. So everybody knew that I'm messed up. But so with me, one thing, I don't know if you're the same as I am. There are a lot of people who, and I have friends who are not here anymore because of it, but a lot of people don't want help.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
You the same way? Or do you act like everything's good? Or?
Well, now I kind of, if it's something prolonged, I'll try and ask for help. But definitely, more so with anxiety, I'll ask for help. I'm better about doing that. But with when I was feeling a little bit more depressed, I definitely kept it more inside, and I didn't really, because it was hard to vocalize like the thoughts I was having and the way I was feeling.
I get you.
Even to a therapist after, it took a few sessions to be able to open up to them.
Yeah, what's funny? That is true. Like with depression, it's more closed off.
Yeah.
Anxiety is so out there and feeling all this, your thoughts are going 100 miles an hour and you feel it in your body, and it's not like heavy, but it's just, it's ugly. Yeah. But depression is but I haven't been depressed, man. And like,
neither.
I did a movie. We produced a movie and I had like 500 people come to see it. And I thought everybody hated it. And I thought they hated me. And I got depressed. This was 10 years ago, so the last time I've been depressed.
Wow.
So it's just anxiety is the killer, let's say.
I feel like they kind of go together a lot of the time.
They do, yeah. They're all kind of coming.
One kind of leads to the other.
Yeah. I mean, manic episodes, now I'm hearing, because I now have a psychiatrist and a therapist and a good team, which is very important, because I didn't have a therapist forever or a psychiatrist, you know, as a team, and that's why I've been screwing up. But, no, I forgot what I was going to say. It doesn't matter. That bipolar and anxiety kind of both almost cousins or something.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's all kind of the same. So if I screw around with my medication for bipolar, you know, you see how that works?
Other things start to happen. I never had to take any medication because when I started talking to people about it is when I was kind of coming out of it. And so when I did probably need antidepressants and stuff like that, which is what was going to be prescribed to me, but I got out of it, thankfully. I only just kind of started getting help though when I was on the come out of it, so I never got any.
Yeah, well, thank God you didn't need it. But let me tell you how it works, Finn, with medication.
Heard a little bit.
I have to say, well, first of all, I've had 3 nervous breakdowns. But my last nervous breakdown was 31 years ago.
That's good.
Because I've stayed on lithium, my medication. So I believe in medication.
Yeah.
My only problem is, for anxiety, I'm on a pill right now. I don't want to take. I don't know why I don't want to take any more pills, even though it may.
Good.
Right, even though so. If I always say I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it about 50,000 times, but I don't care. If you're in first, second gear, that's where you want to be. Third gear, you could even go there. But once you go to fourth, especially fifth and sixth, you better get professional help and get on medication. Because once it starts rolling, you can't reel it back in.
Yeah.
I feel like Al Pacino. Once it's out, they pull me back in.
You should be a voice actor. Are you a voice actor? Did you do it?
No, here's my I've done, I think 4, maybe 3 or 4 jobs dubbing
Oh,
for Netflix.
I've also done a dub thing for Peanuts for Charlie Brown.
Right.
I dubbed like the French version to American.
Oh, you did? Okay, that's kind of what
for Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I did the same thing with these great movies from Australia or Mexico or whatever, and then I dub it. Now, I hate it. Okay?
It's hard.
It's hard, right?
So much harder than just doing voice acting because you have to match how the other actor acts.
Exactly.
Can't put any of yourself into it.
And I've done, I think it's 3 I've done on Netflix. They kept calling me back, and I'm like, Paula, my wife, I hate it. She goes, honey, it's Netflix. I said, well, I still don't, and each of them I did not like. I appreciate the job and the whole thing, but it's not easy. You got to match from the, you know, and then the first one time I did it, they hated me. I know they hated me because they were like this. It would be like this. I do it, and then they would go.
That's a little work.
I saw it from the window. They were in the window in there. And they're like, okay, try it this way. And they'd go. So no, I don't like doing that. All right, let's go away. We did a lot of mental health. This was really great for young actors. I'm telling you, you'll see when you get all the people saying how much they love you and stuff. Anyway.
Hopefully.
Let's talk about Dante Falconeri. And who's your mom? Lulu?
Yeah, Alexa.
Oh, Lulu's your mom?
She's my mom. She's mama.
Oh, I didn't know that. Now she's back from the dead and stuff.
Yeah, she's out of a coma.
And she's running around?
Running around, doing all this stuff, being my mom. We
Is
haven't
it-
many
that-
scenes of her just being my mom. Normally it's some crazy stuff, but
But I don't. Can you be out of a coma and running around like that?
She seems to be doing great. Suspending our disbelief.
And Dominic Zampratia, he's a really good actor.
Great actor. Great person, too.
Yeah, he's a good person. I've known him for a long time, and he plays my son, you know,
Yeah.
which is whatever. You did great work. I think, in all honesty, everybody was great in that storyline where, Kelly Monaco. That's your mom?
She was my stepmom. Yeah.
But it's not your real. Oh,
My real mom, no.
okay, but you have to.
Lulu's my real mom, but she was my mother figure for a while.
I get it, and you have to play that. It's a big deal because it's your stepmother. Whatever. I understand. You broke my heart.
Oh.
You really did. At one scene, I was like, "Oh shit, this kid broke my heart just now." How'd you feel about that whole storyline?
Well, knowing that it broke your heart, I think I probably did a good job in that sense. It was hard to kind of play
Yeah.
it, but it was a fun experience to kind of, because I've only really done like comedy stuff before this, you know. This is my first dramatic role, like.
But
Ever.
Criminal Minds wasn't comedy.
Well, that was when I was a young kid. All the recent stuff that I've done, I was on like a Disney show for a little bit. I did,
Oh shoot!
like 10 or something episodes of that, and that was comedy. And then all the other shows, Alexi and Katie, which is kind of my biggest.
Yeah,
my
that's
biggest
comedy.
show.
I get it.
Sitcom, all that stuff. So.
But I would know by talking to you that you could do what you did. I would know. I could feel it.
Can sense it.
Oh, I would have tweaked you to the point, but it would have been fun. But I could tell that you could, and you did great. So
Thank you. Yeah, it's a really different experience on this show than all the other shows I've been on, where you have a week for an episode and stuff like that. That's half the time. It's a lot different.
it's hard.
For this, it's you have to be ready to perform, and there's not a lot of time to get into it. You have to just be on set. That's why I like to sit on set before my scenes and kind of just feel them out a little bit. But you have to just be ready to go, and then there's no second chances.
The thing about soap operas, it's very simple. If you're not 200% prepared, you're cooked.
Yeah, it's dead.
You got to go up, like with me. If I don't, I mean, I do my work at home too.
Yeah.
And I know actors that don't like that. I don't love to rehearse. Okay, I get it. It's fine. But I will rehearse if you ask. And then it's all, I don't need it because I do so much work on my own, right? Sure. So if I do my work at home but if I don't do that extra thing before I go up by myself,
Yeah.
I'm in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But once I get, it's very simple. I look at it, and I go, done. Now you can't touch me.
Yeah, and you're perfect. Yeah.
But if I don't do that, sometimes you're late.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that you had the scenes. Then I gotta rush that because
And it throws you off, and then
it's
you're
too
not
hard, man.
Not as comfortable.
Yes.
That's my number one thing is trying to be comfortable when I go on stage and like comfortable with my lines. And I'm more comfortable when I have a lot of lines as opposed to when I have like one short scene because I underthink it when I have just one short scene. And I don't get as 100% on my lines. When I have a big chunky script, I'm good, right?
Yeah.
But if it's a 2-page scene and that's my whole day, I'll kind of I'll look at it a few days before, kind of just read it over and then get it pretty good and then learn it for rehearsal and on set and stuff like that and not be 100% because I have school and stuff like that. So
I
it's
understand.
It's easy to give excuses to not work on it. But I still should for every part. There's no.
Well, I mean, it's a matter of how I like to. I don't want to work hard anymore. I want to work easy.
Yeah.
And whatever that makes me is like, if I study hard, prepare hard, then I work easy. I go up. It's easy. It's kind of like flows, man.
And that's like with everything in life.
And everything, but you can apply that to everything, right?
Everything, tests in school, all that kind of stuff. If you're prepared, then you're not nervous.
You said you want to know about the Actor Studio, so
I did, yeah.
I'm going to tell you about the Actor Studio. The Actor Studio is they call actors that are in the Actor Studio, they call them method actors. And it started back in the day in New York. Lee Strasberg was a teacher. And all the greatest actors would audition. You got to audition to get in. And there's something that's Dustin Hoffman auditioned 6 times. I don't know if that's true, but De Niro, Pacino, all the greatest actors were in the Actor Studio because the work that they do in there is very specific. And what that work is the method is you use your real life. So it started to get a bad name because people would say now you're getting into actor's psyche, and there's somewhat truth in that.
Yeah.
So I auditioned first time and passed, but that doesn't mean you're a member yet. You have to go to the Actor Studio for free for a year, and then you audition again to be a member. So I did that for a year, and then I auditioned again, and I passed, became a member. Yeah. So I'm a member. Now, the work is it's specific, but a lot of my favorite actors are method actors. And so, it's like, but it does kind of, you have to understand, they came to me a year into the gig and said, can we play Sonny as bipolar? I said, yeah, I'm a method actor. I'll be right in. I'll get there. But what happens, my life suffered.
Sure.
Because it's just, after 31 years, it's too much, right? So I'll teach you the method maybe one day.
Okay. I'd love to learn.
All right, but I don't want to get into it and get myself in trouble. Mom's like, why'd you teach him that? No.
Well, I always try and draw from like my life for stuff like that too. So
yeah, you're probably, look, but other people who aren't a member of the Actors Studio are still kind of doing the methods.
Yeah, same.
But there's Sanford Meisner, which is another technique, which is the what if. I'll use my imagination.
Yeah, I think I do more of that because I mean, as a 16-year-old, I don't have a lot of trauma to draw.
Exactly.
I'm very lucky for that, of course. But like, acting, losing a guardian figure, I didn't really have.
Right.
With my parents are alive. Knock on wood. Very happy about that, of course. But yeah, not having something to directly, such a strong emotion.
Yeah.
There's, losing pets and stuff like that, but losing a parent, like that's such a stronger sort of emotion that I didn't have, so I had to, meditate into that environment a lot.
Yeah. Especially for young people, it must be harder to do, I mean.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot to draw. But I had a lot to draw from even when I was young. Unfortunately. All right, listen. I think we've covered everything with my friend Finn here. I want to say, at the end of these things, I say what comes out of me. And I didn't know what to expect with Finn, because I truly didn't. But it's been incredible. His talk on mental health, oh my goodness. Wait till I put this stuff out. And I know as a fact, and I know I say this every so often, there's a boy out there who doesn't know why he doesn't want to get out of bed, doesn't know why he's eating so much and nothing feels good, and he's rolling out of bed, and he's just, and maybe his mother's watching State of Mind, and he'll walk into the room and he'll say to himself, he did it. He got through that 5 months of depression, and now he's on a soap opera. And I think that's why it's so important to talk about what's going on. Not all the time, but like he did. Just come in here and do that, and it just helps so many people. Thank you for coming, man.
Of course, thank you so much for
Appreciate it.
having me.
Hey, no problem. All right. State of Mind.